Not only is Palantir my highest conviction stock right now, it's also probably the most controversial. And that's what I want to get into today, which means it's time for another controversial video. Nonetheless though, I do find this to be pretty interesting, so let's get into this, and more specifically, what this means for Palantir moving forward. And listen, being that this will be a controversial video, I am genuinely curious how you guys feel about this. So please, listen to what I have to say and let's have a conversation in the comments below. Palantir faces loss of pricey government Falcon contract. So Palantir may be set to lose an extremely lucrative contract that it has with the United States government organization known as ICE, or Immigrants and Customs Enforcement. And according to ICE, the agency is now looking for alternatives to Palantir's tool. And when I say lucrative, I really mean it. Palantir has drawn in $111 million in revenue since 2013, providing what they call Falcon, which is just ICE's customized version of Palantir's Gotham software, to provide surveillance for ICE, which the agency uses to plan and organize raids on workplaces. So let's break down the revenue numbers for a second. Just from ICE contracts, Palantir has $111 million in revenue in roughly 9 years. That's about $12.3 million a year, or $1 million every single month. So basically, Palantir offers a software tool to ICE known as Falcon. And one of the reasons that Palantir has become so controversial over the last year is due to concerns with privacy and immigration deportation. Palantir's Falcon software was used in the Mississippi workplace raids that took place in 2019, which was the largest immigration raid in a decade and among the largest in American history. And it was actually these raids that led to the arrest, prosecution, and deportation of 680 undocumented workers. Furthermore, to carry out this investigation, Palantir's Falcon was used to take a deep look into the food processing plants when HSI, or Homeland Security investigators, received tips from the public. In this instance, the HSI tip line unit received a bunch of tips suggesting a chicken processing company known as Cook Foods was knowingly hiring and employing people without employment authorization. And upon receiving a tip, an HSI agent used Palantir's Falcon TL to log the data, which then connects to Palantir's product Falcon Search and Analysis, or Falcon SA, as well as other open source and commercial databases to link all the information together from the tips. So in short, Palantir's Falcon tool was used by ICE agents to log and connect information from various databases into a single source, which then generates the creation of profiles of undocumented immigrants with the intent to arrest. So now you can see why that for some, this is a controversial topic. However, without going into the politics of the situation, I'd simply like to address the facts and what this could mean for Palantir. So as of right now, there are government documents indicating that ICE is now working to replace Falcon with a custom-built data mining and analytics tool known as Raven. The document says that over time, existing Falcon components will be redeveloped by the Raven team. And not only that, but currently, there are now hundreds of companies that are pursuing work on Raven, including Microsoft, IBM, Google, and Amazon. And interestingly enough, Amazon supports ICE's cloud data while simultaneously providing cloud storage for both Palantir's Falcon and Raven. And currently, Palantir has an active contract for work on Falcon that expires this November, which is actually the same month that Raven is set to go live. So to be honest, I think what I find the most interesting is that Amazon is currently hosting cloud servers associated with the controversial government sector ICE, as well as Palantir. Now, if you're a law-abiding corporate citizen, this really doesn't matter. However, I find it hard to believe that Amazon isn't going to get any heavy resistance, both from customers and employees, when wind of their advanced AI has the potential to be used in controversial political ways by the police, government, and military fields. And another question that arises is, does Raven actually have more superior software than Palantir? And to answer honestly, I don't know, but I highly suspect that it's not as good. And you have to realize, Palantir is a company that I genuinely believe is out to do the world good. They want to improve the world and make it better, not rule or dominate it. It's solely up to the people who use Palantir's software in how the outcome and perception of Palantir will be shaped into history. And whether you agree or disagree with the whole Raven and ICE deal, I think in the future, we're going to see a lot more big names like Amazon and Microsoft tend to stay away from these organizations due to PR related issues. So while it is unfortunate that it seems like Palantir is going to be missing out on more revenue with ICE leaving them, to be honest, it seems like that for now, Palantir is better off not being associated with ICE, if for nothing else, that it's bad PR. Essentially, the revenue isn't worth the public backlash. And this whole situation also seems to shed light on the possibility that Palantir is replaceable. However, if any government agency can theoretically replace Palantir, why haven't more done it already? If Palantir is truly not the best at what it does, I'd be curious to see if anyone knows more about other data mining companies that have superior technology to Palantir. So overall, I of course will not be selling a single share of Palantir anytime soon. Palantir still has a ton of government contracts and is quickly expanding into the commercial sectors at an incredible rate. Nothing at all here changes the long-term narrative, and I think that should be the big takeaway here. If Palantir continues to fall further into the low $20 range, I will continue to buy more shares because I believe that Palantir is a stock that will give me a 20x ROI in the future. Any dip in Palantir, I'm just seeing as another buying opportunity. And that's the video I have for you guys today. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.